to the news recap here on News Ghana Clock. We are coming to you live from our studio here in the Zoo. My name is Hegel Fusua.
And my name is Kweku Ediamansa. Let's quickly take a look at stories making headlines. Ex-President John Dramani Mahama criticizes government's approach to fighting illegal mining in the country.
Also, presidency dismisses claims of government approval of same-sex marriage in Ghana.
Now in business, the Lumber Association warns that Ghana will soon have to import lumber.
Also, NGO seals GRA over 10 acquisition.
Now in sports, Isaac Dogbe has become Ghana's youngest ever boxing champion.
We take you to the entertainment sector where, on a rather sad note, veteran musician Joe Aka has passed on at 73.
We have these and many other stories, including international news, all coming up in the next few minutes. Please do stay. The presidency has dismissed claims that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has given approval for same-sex marriage in Ghana. This was contained in a statement released on Saturday, April 28, 2018 by the Director of Communications at the Presidency, Eugene Ahin. The statement is in reaction to comments purported to be attributed to the General Secretary of the Opposition National Democratic Congress, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, to the effect that President Akufo-Addo has endorsed same-sex marriage. Now let's continue with some other stories where the University of Professional Studies situated at Medina will soon be known as the Opoku Ampoma University of Professional Studies. This proposal was made by President Akufo-Addo at a special convocation held by the university to confer 2 honorary doctorate degrees on the founder of the university and the current president of the Confederation of African Football, Ahmed Ahmed. President Akufo-Addo further pointed out that the establishment of an endowment fund by the school to help the needy by brilliant students was a good initiative.
Two other stories. Former President John Dramani Mahama has criticized the New Patriotic Party government for its approach to dealing with illegal small-scale mining in the country. According to him, the government's deployment of a joint police and military task force to rid the country of illegal small-scale miners is counterproductive. Addressing a gathering at the NDC Unity Walk on Saturday, April 28, 2018 in Kumasi, he pointed out that government must make available a livelihood package for the sustenance of unlawful miners after leaving the illegal mining sites.
Now let's continue with our stories where Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia has called for major reforms in pension administration in the country. Now according to him, prudent management of the pension resources is imperative and the unification seems inevitable if they are committed to creating prosperity and equal opportunity for all. Now, the Vice President made this call when he addressed participants at a high-level stakeholder meeting on unification of pension schemes in the public sector here in Accra.
A non-governmental organization known as the Center for Juvenile Delinquency has sued the Ghana Revenue Authority for directing Ghanaians to procure tax identification numbers, also known as TIN, to secure some services such as filing cases in court. The plaintiff is invoking the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to annul the directive from the GRA, which prohibits persons without TIN from filing cases in court.
That the enforcement of TIN for the above purposes became effective on the 1st of April 2018. Therefore, today being the first working day of the month, GRA deems it proper and appropriate to reiterate the already publicized information. So far, GRA has issued 1,090,338 TIN numbers.
Now let's do some other stories where the Minister for Education, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, has been awarded the overall Best Minister for the year 2017 by the Ghana Entrepreneurs Foundation of Ghana at the Ghana Entrepreneur and Corporate Executive Awards and Gala Dinner 2018. Now the event, which is the 8th edition, was to recognize the most successful and respectful government officials, corporate chief executives, entrepreneurs, business executives who own and manage successful organizations here in the country.
Moving on. The Police Hospital Administration will embark on a mass burial for about 120 unknown and unclaimed bodies as part of a routine measure to decongest the police hospital mortuary.
In a statement released by the hospital, the general public is hereby being informed to contact the pathology department at the police hospital for identifications of persons who might not have been seen for some time now as part of a search to avoid being added to those earmarked for mass burial after 21 days from this announcement.
Now let's do a sad story where Latele Mensah, a 38-year-old mother, has beaten her young daughter Tanisani until she passed away. Now reports indicates that the young girl suffered at the hands of her own mother because she failed to cover up her vomit with sand. Now the suspect later sought the help of two individuals who assisted her to bury the body of the daughter at Lavender Hill here in Accra.
Now let's do some business stories now, where the Ghana Association of Bankers has blamed government over the years for the challenges facing some commercial banks in the country. Now speaking at a stakeholders engagement organized by the Bank of Ghana, President of the association Al-Hassan Andani noted when government fails to repay contractors and service providers of government projects, it leaves them unable to pay back loans taken from banks, and that creates liquidity challenges. According to the association, the inability of successive government to pay contractors on time for work done has crippled the banks that finance the projects.
Moving on. Scores of Uber drivers massed up at the offices of Uber here in Accra as drivers who are on a sit-down strike are protesting against what they say is the unfair treatment by the transport services company. Some drivers who spoke off camera indicated that they have been compelled to take the action as the company has refused to act on their concerns. Now Uber, which is a transport service provider, has over the year been operating in the country and provides relatively improved services.
To other stories, customers of commercial banks would be restricted in their borrowings from any bank in the coming month if he or she does not have a credible loan repayment track record. This will follow strict enforcement of the new Borrowers and Lenders Act by commercial banks in the country. Now, at a stakeholders meeting on creating a robust financial sector, the second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, LC Ado, disclosed that there are currently discussions on the way forward for new Borrowers and Lenders Act.
Now moving on. And the Director of Communications for the Domestic Lumber Traders Association of Ghana, Anthony Pate Asari, says the association is still contemplating on importing lumber from Liberia since the lumber from Ghana's forests are fast losing their quality. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Asari noted that the association has been traveling to some other countries as part of efforts to get access to import quality lumber. He lamented that the quality of lumber in the country is fast deteriorating, hence the move.
Let's go to the international scene now, where more than 160 children have been rescued from a baby factory and 2 unregistered orphanages in Nigeria's main city, Lagos. The Commissioner for Youth and Social Development in Lagos State, Agbola Dabiri, says some of the babies and children had been sexually abused and 100 girls and 62 boys have been rescued. There have been several instances where Nigerian authorities have raided baby factories. In some cases, unmarried pregnant women are promised health care, only for their children to be taken away. In others, women are raped and made.
Now let's do some sports stories here, where Ghanaian midfielder Kingsley Safo has been charged with 2 counts of statutory rape of a minor. Now prosecutor Richard Darrell announced in the Swedish city of Malmo that there is enough reason to charge the player who has been in custody since February. Now the 23-year-old is accused of 2 counts of rape of a child under 15 in September 2016 and June last year. Safo, who plays for Swedish champions Malmo, reportedly admitted to having sex with a minor but denies committing a crime as he thought she was older. Now the player is currently suspended by his club and receives no salary.
Now, Isaac Dogbe has become Ghana's youngest ever boxing champion after knocking out Jesse Magdaleno to become WBO Super Bantamweight title holder. Now, let's take a look at the highlights.
Some really mean-spirited stuff. Made his way over there. The worst moment of his career, the most trying moment, he made his way over to embrace the guy who vanquished him. Great point, Mark. Sitting on the ropes, taking them body punches. They get clipped.
Now let's move away from sports and do some entertainment stories, where veteran musician Joel Aka has died at age 73, and the sensational musician passed away on Friday, the April 27th, 2018. Now, he was known to be battling stroke and other sicknesses for about a decade. Joel Aka is known for composing the anthem of the NDC. He has also got to his credit 27 albums, and some of his tracks include Asumdwehine, some Joyce Sambra, and among others.
This year's edition of the Ghana Meets Niger, one of the country's biggest events on the entertainment calendar, will come off at the Accra International Conference Center on Saturday, June 9. The annual concert, which is organized by Empire Entertainment, is built on celebrating and uniting the different yet similar musical tastes, culture, and artists from both Ghana and Nigeria. Now, according to the organizers, the list of artists built to rock the event will be announced at the official launch. Well, on this note, this is where we end the news recap. But before we go, a recap of the headlines.
Ex-President John Dramani Mahama criticizes government's approach to fighting illegal mining here in the country.
Also, we took you to the presidency as they dismissed claims of a government approval of same-sex marriage in Ghana.
Also in business, the Lumber Association warns that Ghana will soon have to import lumber.
Also, NGO sues the Ghana Revenue Authority over 10 acquisition.
Now in sports, Isaac Dogbe has become Ghana's youngest ever boxing champion.
Also, veteran musician Joel Aka has passed on at age 73. Well, thanks so much for making time with us on this edition of News Recap. Remember, you can get more interactive with us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and also on YouTube. The news was produced by AMULENS Production. Thanks so much for making time with us. My name is Hegel Vusua.
And my name is Kweku Ediamansa.